What's up, plant junkies? Jody here for another plant video from plantjunkiecreations.com. Today I'm going to be going over the basic plant care of this beautiful Hoya known as the Hoya Burmanica. I'm going to be repotting my overgrown Burmanica into a larger terracotta and show you guys how easy it was for me to propagate this plant. The light requirement for this plant will tolerate medium to bright and direct light, but thrives best in that bright and direct light. I currently have this plant as well as my propagations under LED grow lights, so it does very well under artificial grow lights. The water requirement for this plant, like I always say, just depends on what type of pot you're using and what size. For this small yet tall terracotta, I water on a 10-day basis. I also have a smaller terracotta pot that I water on a 5 to 7 day cycle. This Hoya Burmanica benefits being in terracotta because terracotta is porous, so it sucks that moisture out so the plant isn't staying wet for too long. This Hoya appreciates drying out in between waterings, but not staying dry for too long. Some signs you will see if you're not watering enough is you'll see leaves turning yellow, and they actually stay attached for a long time before dropping. On the reverse side of that, if you're overwatering this plant, you'll see leaves turning yellow but dropping quickly. The soil requirement for this plant really enjoys a well-draining epiphytic mix. What I've created here is a mixture of sphagnum peat moss, cocoa coir, coconut husk, tree fern, pine bark, charcoal, and perlite. The fertilizer requirement for this plant, you typically want to fertilize 2 times a month during the growing season. Hoyas in general don't need a whole lot of fertilizer, so whichever fertilizer you use, cut that dose in half or just use a quarter. I like to rotate between Gringo Rasta Rise Up from Box Farm and Orchid Bloom. I find the best method for propagating the Hoya Burmanica is in perlite 100%. I think I have a video in my feed, I'll attach a link up here, of me repotting this plant as well as taking some cuttings and putting them in perlite. Well, these are those cuttings. And after 2 weeks, the roots were strong and long enough to place into a chunky mix. So I went ahead and did that. And this one is currently available at my shop at plantjunkiecreations.com. And if you can see, has a peduncle forming. I'm going to take this one and combine it into this pot here, and I'm going to take the propagation and show you guys how I do that on this ugly leaf right here. But it has a new, I don't know if you can see it, but a new stem starting to form right there. So I'm not too worried about it because initially that's what this was, just a 1 leaf cutting, and since then has put off 2 new leaves there. I may not look like I'm nervous, but I am very nervous to repot this plant because I have roots that are just tangled in sphagnum moss. And the reason for all this moss is because I wanted this plant to get established in this pot. Well, it's gone ahead and done that. So I'm going to put it in a larger pot, put it back in a propagation box so it can get established in this pot so it's strong enough to be in my plant room. you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to click on that like button. Also, if you're interested in plant care content, click on that icon to subscribe to my channel.